against Omicron. Falcon hates puns and thinks that they're all wrong. One's American and one is an Aussie. Talking about StarCraft 2 and the esports scene.
And we're back with another episode of the podcast. Hello and welcome.
Hello and welcome to you as well.
Yeah. Some things are different.
Yeah.
I shaved.
Ah.
It's getting hot. Beard had to go.
Not recently, though, right?
What do you mean?
You're sporting a 5 o'clock shadow. Is that...
Oh, when I say
Not a fairy
I mean... no, so when I shave, I just have clippers, right?
Ah, okay.
And so
It's
they
not
don't.
like-
It's not a close shave, right?
Yeah. I mean, obviously.
Yeah.
Although I have known people that, they could shave and,
Oh, yeah,
8
fatty.
hours later,
Yeah.
they look like you.
Yeah. It's fatty.
Okay, fair
Yeah.
enough. Right, exactly. It's like, I shaved, and then 3 days later, he's got a full beard. I'm like, how? What dark magic is there?
I think the record was some guy had to shave every 8 hours. Right? Otherwise, he had a...
I don't know.
He started growing a full beard.
Means. So
Like-
how much hair did he grow in 8 hours?
Well, I mean, if he
know what I
wanted to
mean?
look clean shaven, it would only last for 8 hours.
Yeah. Okay.
Right?
But
He'd
I
have a
mean-
beard like you in like 2 weeks.
Fair enough. That's pretty amazing, and probably an annoyance too if you wanted to stay clean shaven. Like that's a lot of work, man. That
Oh,
sucks.
probably, yeah.
Yeah. It's like
No
shaving
bueno.
twice a day, basically.
Uh-huh.
Once every 8 hours is technically it's 3 times a day, but can't really do it when you're sleeping. So I don't know.
No.
I guess when you wake up and then 8 hours later, then 8 hours later, then go to bed.
Well, I assume he only does it if he wants to go out for dinner, right? He's like, I gotta look nice
Sure.
for something for dinner. So it's wake up, do it before work, do it when you get home if you're going out.
Yeah, if you want to
Yeah.
stay clean shaven.
Right.
Okay. Interesting.
Hmm.
All right. So I think what I want to lead off with this week is the Mandalorian.
Okay.
Because it's an Ahsoka Tano episode, and I like Ahsoka a lot.
Okay.
I can't remember. Have you ever watched the Clone
No.
Wars or Rebels?
No.
All right. So, what is your understanding of who Ahsoka is?
Anakin's former Padawan, not really a Jedi, but boy, watching The Mandalorian, you wouldn't know that.
You wouldn't know that she's not really a Jedi?
At no point in the entire episode did she dispel anyone's illusions that she was a Jedi. She doesn't claim not to be a Jedi. She simply claims not to want to train Grogu.
Right, which isn't necessarily about that she's not a Jedi. I think
Right,
the
no.
concerns there were around other things. Yeah. Right. So good points. I don't know. I just kind of feel like sneaking around in the woods and assassinating soldiers that don't want to be there is not a very Jedi thing, but maybe I'm wrong about that.
Right. I mean, maybe not, but I don't think that it's attempting to remove the Mando's told, oh, there's a Jedi that I know living here at this location given to by Princess Mando, right?
Bo-Katan, right?
Sure.
Took
He
me
goes
a second
there
to
and
get
finds a person who does not dispute the fact that he's looking for a Jedi. He's looking for a Jedi, well, I'm here. Doesn't say I'm not a Jedi, just says I'm not going to train him.
Yeah.
So,
And I mean, the definition of a Jedi is fairly fuzzy, right? You can
Right.
say person who uses the Force and has lightsabers, but the intent matters a lot, right?
sure.
Because Sith also do the same thing.
Yeah.
So I found it interesting that she wasn't looking to liberate the city from oppression, just she wanted information, right?
Uh-huh.
So
I mean,
I don't know. I just
ki-
feel like a Jedi would want to liberate the city for just the good of it, right?
here's the thing. When she was devising a plan with Mando, her primary objective was, we need to free those people in cages, right? It wasn't, we need you to make a distraction so I can go in and fight the boss. It was,
Right.
we need you to free the people. So I don't think
Maybe she's
not
using
liberating
Mando,
people.
though.
Huh?
Maybe she's using Mando. Maybe it is a distraction, but maybe she's like, she frames it in these terms that she thinks Mando will understand because he's taking care of a baby, right? Like, he's a good person. So we need to frame this in ways that Mando can understand, which is helping people.
Right. Also knows that he's a bounty hunter, right? Like his
True.
job is to go after and just like kill people regardless, right?
He's a contradiction in a lot of ways.
Right. I don't think she's using him. I don't think we're supposed to think that. Like, it doesn't set up enough because at the end, she's still there with the new village chief and being like, oh, yes, I will enjoy your feast of liberation now.
Sure.
Right. Like,
I don't know if that's an inherently good thing. You think that's a G with a capital G is hanging out and having food with these people?
No. I'm saying we're supposed to think that she did this partially to liberate them because she's then like, cool, I'm going to hang around and celebrate, right? Because I did something good. Right?
She's hungry. She's been like living in a swamp for a while, it feels like. You know what I mean? Maybe she's like, yes, actual food sounds delicious. I don't know. I'm just playing devil's advocate, obviously, here a
Right.
little bit, but
I mean, Yoda lived in a swamp for like 30 years. I think she can manage.
yeah, but his species is down with eating live frogs.
So
like,
so are the French. I don't, I'm not.
No, dead. They eat dead frogs and they cook them.
I look.
I'm just saying, like Yoda and Baby Yoda's species are down with eating live animals and reptiles and amphibians. Like, him living in a swamp is basically living in a 4-star, 5-star restaurant, right?
I mean, maybe, but I mean, I don't know about that. I'm sure he enjoys cooked food that has been prepared. Here's the thing. I just like it. Are we shown anywhere that Ahsoka can't live off the same sort of nutritional products?
In the Clone Wars, she eats cooked food. I don't think were there like ever on a mission on a swamp planet. She's like,
Yoda
"Oh,
cooks
yeah,
food.
frog
Yoda cooks
time."
food in his hut, right? Baby Yoda eats fresh raw food. He also eats cooked food, right? Like, that's not a... People can do both. I eat raw
I'm just
apples.
saying- right. I'm just saying there's never a time where they're like on a swamp planet and she's like, oh yeah, live frogs. Let's do this.
I mean,
'cause
the show's not about her food.
I've never seen that. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
That's it.
You've never seen it because it's never been relevant nor is it important.
Correct. Probably not.
Yeah.
The question is, do we think this episode did anything along the lines of something morally gray, right? Or is she just not a name in Jedi, or not a Jedi in name only? Like, she goes around freeing people from oppression and helping people out and doing stuff that Jedi would do, but she doesn't want to be called a Jedi.
I think those sorts of questions are for people who want to watch everything, including Clone Wars or Rebels or whatever it is she shows up in.
Okay.
I don't think The Mandalorian cares about that at all, right? The show, not the person. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think the show gives a shit whether or not she calls herself a Jedi, a Grey Jedi, or just a Force user.
They had her say, I'm not a Jedi. So, like,
No, they
what
didn't.
do you mean they're
When-
leaning away from it?
When did they say she doesn't say I'm not a Jedi? Those exact words she does not say to the Mandalorian. She simply she just says I'm not going to train this guy. I've seen what these kind of attachments can do to a full-grown Jedi Knight. She doesn't dispute the claim that she's a Jedi, which was my one takeaway from the entire episode.
Doesn't the Spear Lady refer to Ahsoka as not a Jedi?
I
Or does
don't
she call
know.
her a Jedi the whole time. I don't know.
No, she does call him a Jedi because she's like, oh, I've got a job for you. I want you to hunt down a Jedi, or a Jedi's been plaguing me.
That's right.
Right.
She's like, you're good at dealing with them because you're a Mandalorian and you have a history.
Right.
Which Mando doesn't dispute, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Do we think he's actually fought Jedi before?
Uh,
I don't feel like he has, but he also wasn't like, I mean, I don't know how to do this, lady.
I mean, I don't know. He knew his armor would withstand lightsabers, so... Then again, it's still his best option regardless, even if it can't, right? Like, hope the Beskar holds up.
Yeah, what are you going to do? I guess try to dodge, but...
Right.
I don't know. I wonder if, like, part of the watch, part of his growing up was like, listen, our ancient enemies were the Jedi.
No.
The reason we wear Beskar is because it can stop their weapons, right? I'm sure maybe that came up once or twice.
No, because he had no idea who the Jedi are. He didn't know that the Jedi were his ancient enemies until he found Baby Yoda and took him back to the what is it called? The enclaves? Or
Yeah.
yeah, and the
Um,
leader lady was like, "Oh, that's one of our ancient enemies."
and is he like, what? Or is he
Yeah.
like, yes, I've heard these stories.
No, he's like,
He's like, what? They didn't tell him anything, man.
mm-hmm.
I swear. These dudes were like, we're going to raise you as a Mandalorian, and we're going to teach you nothing
He
about
didn't.
history or the world around you, man.
He didn't know that like his group wasn't the only faction of Mandalorians. That there
Yeah,
are
that's what
Mandalorians that take their helmet off. So yes,
that's
they
what I'm
taught him
saying.
nothing. Yeah,
They
they
taught
taught him.
him nothing. They taught him how to fight and how to use all his special tricks and his flamethrower
Which
and be a bounty hunter, and that was it.
is arguably what his faction is about, being a bounty hunter, right? And like fighting.
Yeah.
So they
But
told
for
him,
like the watch is all about the way. It's all about doing things a certain way, which
which
usually
is fighting.
civilizations. Yes, but civilizations that are into that also love history. Like it's I don't know. I just find it odd to be like we're a very traditional society. We do the things the way they're done, but your history doesn't matter.
Well,
I can't think of that happening.
It probably doesn't matter because it's like you wanting to become a soldier in the like U.S. Armed Forces and being like, how come we're not taught ancient Greek tactics? Right? Nobody's seen more than one or two of these species in like at least 50 years, right? Like there is no planet of, well, there probably is a planet. They're just not going to tell us if there is or isn't, because then we would have a species name, right? Like we've only seen 3 of the species. No wonder they're not teaching people about them. It's like, oh, we once had these ancient enemies, right? We don't need to know about them. They'll probably never run into one.
Well, which I mean, they're not. The Jedi aren't ancient. Is the problem? This is 6 years after the Battle of Yavin, which means it's maybe 24 years after Order 66.
Right, but in
So,
that
like-
time, the Empire went through scouring the galaxy of all evidence to the point where like people like Han Solo had no idea. He was like, the Force, pfft, humbug. It's like I've never heard of it, right? Like it went to myth in 24 years, right? And we're now talking about a species of people of which there were 3 in the galaxy that we've seen. So I'm not surprised they don't teach it.
Fair enough. And we've had this discussion before. We've talked about why people don't know about the Jedi in different eras of Star Wars, and fair enough.
Yeah.
All right. So, okay. So, Grand Admiral Thrawn, any understanding of who he is for you?
He's bluer.
Yeah. He is.
He's a tactical genius or something. Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
Um,
So, I think the first 3 books written in the expanded universe, starting in like 1990, they got the idea to write some books for Star Wars because the movies were done. Was the Admiral Thrawn trilogy, like one of the first things they did. So anyway, yes, the thing is he's a blue, he's an alien, and that's important because the Empire hates aliens, and for him to ascend to this really trusted, really powerful position within the Empire just means that his talent and his abilities are just undeniably important. And the Empire's like, we would much rather have him on our side than fight against him. So that's Grand Admiral Thrawn. He's in Rebels, but he kind of sucks, which is a lot of problems with Rebels, but them kind of like neutering Grand Admiral Thrawn is a big problem with it. He's supposed to be this incredibly terrifying force of nature, basically, that if he shows up with a fleet, you run. Like you, the rebellion, are not winning in that situation. So he's off exploring what are called the outer regions, I think, of the universe, and so he's not there when the Empire falls.
right.
So then he comes back after everyone's like, well, we did it, and like he's back with a giant fleet, and they're like, crap. He's back. Like we thought maybe he'd never come back, but he did, and he's a pain to deal with.
Okay.
So as far as the Rebels storytelling goes, the young hero of Rebels named Ezra did this thing with magic space whales to get rid of Grand Admiral Thrawn, but he went with them too. Like they get eaten by space whales. I told you, Rebels has a lot of problems.
Yeah, that's also the one that's like, we have space negating ferrets or something, right?
Yes, that too. Yeah, Rebels is weird in a lot of ways. So I was like, well, okay, number one, why is she looking for Grand Admiral Thrawn? I didn't think about it in the context of Rebels, but then I should have, because I think that's what they're doing.
Right.
Basically, she's looking for Ezra because Ezra's a good kid and like she's developed a relationship with him. I think she's just trying to find Ezra rather than trying to find Thrawn. But if he's out there doing stuff, I don't know. I just feel like that would have a bigger sense of effect on the entire story if the New Republic is fighting Grand Admiral Thrawn on a large scale.
Mm.
The X-Wing pilots would kind of be less like, we're trying to establish
Less
a New
beat
Republic
cops.
here. Yeah, they'd be soldiers.
Still, yeah.
I think so.
Look
It
at
would
you,
just have a
always
different
bring
feel,
it back to X-Wings.
unless he's hiding,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Probably
Like
is.
Thrawn ended up somewhere with the space whales, and it's taken him a long time to get back to home. And he's hiding out, consolidating forces, and he wants to strike, but nobody knows where he is.
He's
Something like that. I don't know.
setting up the First Order to tie it into the sequel trilogy.
I guess. So he sets up the First Order, but he dies before The Force Awakens, maybe?
Mm-hmm. Maybe.
I don't know. I'd be fine. I think I said this in the Discord, but I'd be fine with them completely retconning the sequel trilogy out of Star Wars. Like, it's just never happened.
What if they retcon it so that Snoke was actually Thrawn? He just got, like, force lightning and choked and sucked through a portal or something, and
All of his blue went away.
yeah, he just
Maybe.
lost his blue.
That'd be interesting, but like the whole thing about Thrawn is he's quietly confident. He's not blustery. He's not braggadocious. He respects the cultures that he defeats and like tries to understand them so he can beat them. It's an ender kind of a thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I don't see him and Snoke having the same personality, but again,
No,
maybe
neither do
it's been a few decades and he's been dragged through a portal and horse lightning. He
Mm-hmm.
can change.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think Snoke had much to go with, like, but given that it's still a question that they've not answered and looks like they probably just never will,
Yeah.
important characters have to, like, leave a mark somewhere, right? Like, it's just how they work, because they're important characters, that's the point.
Yeah. So I don't know. I would personally love it if the show went more into a space battle version of Star Wars than a Western version of Star Wars. Like
No
it's been,
shit.
right?
You spent 5 minutes talking about Ahsoka and then Thrawn, and then just so you could redirect it to what are the X-Wing pilots like? Of course you want it to be a space battle. Like, I'm not surprised by this.
But I don't see them doing that. The show is in a weird spot right now. Because somebody made the point in a video that I watched today that if Mandalorian does return, Baby Yoda finds someone to train him and they separate, the show's over. Right? Is anybody watching The Mandalorian if Baby Yoda's off learning something and it's just about Mando? Or if they're separated and we split time? I don't know if it's the same show anymore.
I think people still watch.
Probably.
I think if the show had never introduced Baby Yoda, it would be significantly less popular. But I assume they would then split time between Grogu and his new master, and then the Mando doing something important.
Yeah.
But what
I guess
it is,
that could work.
I don't know.
I can see that.
Yeah. I think the problem with one of the reasons why I don't like it is the kid's like 90 or 50 or something, right? Like he's a baby, but he's a baby in his species. He's like 90 in ours. There's no point within the Mandalorian's timeline where that thing grows up to be an interesting character.
Right.
Right? There's no point in which it grows out of infancy before he dies either.
Yeah, I agree. I was thinking too, like, Baby Yoda spent 50 years being trained by the Jedi.
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine caring for a toddler for 50 years? He can't take care of himself. You feed him everything. I don't know if like you're changing diapers or what, but he can't really talk at all.
Mm-hmm.
Like toddlers are rough, and they're only toddlers for a couple of years, man. And then they turn into basically people. But good.
I assume, because like Ahsoka did, like we read each other's thoughts, that it would be a lot easier to manage this toddler with a, you know, a complex full of Force users, right? Who is
Yeah.
actively communicating with this person every day, right?
Yeah, it'd be easier. It's still basically a baby for a very long time now.
I mean, it can get up and walk around and like climb up things that it's taller than it. So I mean,
Yeah.
it can do a lot of stuff that a baby can't. It's closer to like a toddler or a small child. It just doesn't communicate for whatever reason.
Yeah. Unless you can force talk to him, which the Jedi
Yeah.
could. So
Yeah.
fair enough. I don't know. I was really hoping Ahsoka would be like, there's this guy named Luke Skywalker I can take you to. But man, she doesn't know about him either. Like, nobody knows anybody else in this world at all, it seems like. It's very strange.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like, you'd think the story of Luke would be around by
Um,
now, but nobody knows who he is.
ag-
He's
ag-
just out.
again, Luke's a legend. He's like, he doesn't go into like public office and people are like, yeah, I'm the guy that defeated the Emperor and, you know, saved the galaxy. Even like, I'm gonna go to the sequel trilogy. Rey was like, I thought he was a myth, right? Like, people don't think this guy's real, or he's like, they haven't heard of him.
I know, but she's been living on a backwater world of Jakku. She scraps for a living and then goes and sits in her
Ahsoka's been living in a
hut
swamp
all day. No, she hasn't. She has
Living
not been
the-
living on this. She has not been living on this one world, and then random happenstance, she's like, "Oh, a person who knows who Grand Admiral Thrawn lives here too." There's no way. She's been around doing stuff. She's been helping.
Mando's been living in what passes for civilization, and he doesn't know about him.
Yeah, but that's because he's an idiot. I really strongly feel like the Mandalorian is dumb. The number of times he's been taken advantage of by people who obviously are going to take advantage of him is way too high.
Sure.
I don't know
but
how he hasn't been killed before now. He's a
Right.
bounty hunter with no ability to survive dangerous situations.
Here's the thing. He's been looking for a Jedi to train the kid, right? If he was just dumb, okay, that's fine. But he's been telling people, right? Like, how have
Yes.
all the other people there not heard of where Jedi are if they know who Luke is? Right?
I
His
know.
name is not spread.
See, what it feels like to me is them not accurately portraying the world which they're in.
Oh, yeah.
It's them being like, this is not the Luke Skywalker show. Screw you if you want Luke Skywalker in this show. I know he's alive. We're going to pretend he's not alive and he doesn't exist. I think that's what's going on here. This is not them saying this is what the world is like. It's them basically saying this is not about Luke. Stop asking.
I mean,
We're never going to give you the chance to ask about Luke because we're never saying his name.
well, I mean, they did give us a chance, right? Like, Mando's gonna go climb a mountain and let Grogu reach out with his feelings, and a Jedi might feel it. In which case, they do one of two things: Leia comes, Luke comes, or they go, "Hey, look, another Jedi that survived Order 66," and that person comes.
I think they would much rather do that. I think they're trying to keep themselves away from the original trilogy as much as possible. And
Oh,
even the sequel
probably.
trilogy.
Yeah, probably. Wouldn't surprise me.
I mean, since Ahsoka's not is 100% not involved in any of the mainline Star Wars movies,
It's
she
true.
was safe to bring in.
It's true.
She's not part of what they're trying to avoid.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I don't know. What I'd like for the show is the story of the Mandalorian finding a safe place for Baby Yoda to do his thing,
Mm-hmm.
and then it ends. I think it'd be a good story that way, and have a start, middle, and a finish in a fairly nice way.
Here's the
Maybe
problem.
3 seasons.
Yeah, there will definitely be another season, and at the moment
Yeah.
they have way too many like other plot threads that they've thrown out there, like Bo-Katan reforging, you know, her right to rule the Mandalorian homeworld.
Yeah.
You know, and that's hooked in because she needs the Darksaber or whatever, who Gus Fring has from season 1, and he's doing something with cloning to get Jedi power. Like, it's not ending this season. It can't.
You're right. There are a lot of plot threads they've introduced.
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough.
And then the Thrawn stuff, yeah, like it can't all end in what I assume is like 4 episodes left, because the first season was only like 12 episodes.
Right.
If
But
that.
what they're planning on doing is making an Ahsoka show.
Oh, are they?
So what I'm thinking, yeah, they announced that a couple days ago.
Okay.
So maybe what they're gonna do is the Mandalorian is the story of we find Baby Yoda a home and we introduce all these plot threads.
Mm-hmm.
And then Ahsoka's the one who's involved in all this bigger stuff because it's not really the Mandalorian's world. Like he's not gonna go on a quest to stop the Dark Troopers and destroy Moff Gideon,
It's
and
true.
stop Grand Admiral Thrawn. That's an Ahsoka thing to do.
Well, Moff Gideon's gonna come find the kid. Like he's got a tracker on him, so he's embroiled in that no matter what. And if he's embroiled with
Taking him.
Moff Gideon, he's got the lightsaber. Bo-Katan is not far away. So that's
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we could wrap that up. Moff Gideon tries to get the child. He ends up dying.
Mm-hmm.
The Darksaber goes to Bo-Katan. She reclaims Mandalore. We could wrap those up in the next
Right.
season. That's my call.
Moff Gideon, high figure in the Imperium, not the Imperium, the Empire. What's left of it? Damn you, 40k, get out of my head.
The Empire.
Moff Gideon probably knows Thrawn. It connects there again.
Yes. But again, I think Grand Admiral Thrawn is too big of a thing to introduce us to, give us time with, and defeat in one season. I guess they could. I don't know. I wouldn't like them to, but that's entirely within the realm of possibility, depending on how they do it.
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough.
Yep.
Fair enough. All right. Good deal. I do want to complain that Ahsoka never uses the reverse grip for her lightsaber fights in the show.
She does.
What? When?
When she's one-handed versus Spear Lady, she uses a reverse grip.
I feel better then. I thought I was watching that pretty close, but maybe I was distracted by the fightings.
Maybe.
Apparently that lady is like some great stunt fight coordinator's granddaughter or something.
Spear Lady?
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
Leaning into some stuff there. Also, like, I don't know. I don't know enough to tell you, like, to know this off the top of my head, but this last episode especially was very much an homage to samurai films.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can see that.
So, like, direct one-to-one scenario, like, shots
Mm-hmm.
that are set up. Like, to be, this is an incredible film that we love a lot. We're paying direct homage to it with this shot a couple times.
Yeah, I can understand that and see that.
Yeah.
I haven't seen
So
a
I
lot
thought
of
that was
samurai
fun,
films,
too.
but yeah.
Me neither. Okay, so I'm watching this. So she loses her lightsaber in the water. That sucks. Guy outside has a discussion with Mando, and then he Han Solos him.
Mm-hmm. Han shot first, you
Might have
bastard.
been a what?
Han shot first, you bastard.
Yeah, that's what it. He shoots first.
No.
Mando
I'm
shoots
just,
first.
I'm
Oh, you're
just,
talking to George Lucas.
yeah, yes, I am.
Oh, she does flip it.
See, told you.
But then it's... Yeah, then she disarms her, like, second later. Okay,
Yeah.
good. My complaints are dismissed. Huzzah, thank you. Thank you for introducing me to that concept. I needed that.
No worries. Try watching the show. Yeah.
I really should. Try watching the shows that I watch. All right, moving on. That's enough Mandalorian talk, I think.
Yeah, for certain.
So, read the Faraway Paladin.
Oh, you did. You managed to squeeze that out in like a day.
Of course I did. I'm a fast reader. It's not
Yeah.
that long.
No.
It's like a couple hundred pages.
230, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
And some of them are pictures. So.
Some of them are pictures. It's not like a ton of pictures, but yeah.
What do you think?
I liked it. I think it was a more interesting story and better written than I expected it to be.
Yeah. It's one of the better light novels that I've read, for certain.
Yeah.
And I've read a lot of bad light novels. So what do you think? Like, favorite
I thought it was-
characters?
Yeah, I don't know. I
Because you
get,
just said it's good. Need more than
well,
that.
it does a really good job of being like, our main characters are a human baby, a massive skeleton, a mummy of some kind, and a ghost. And you're like, what is this? Halloween? What is going on here, honestly? And it does a great job of being like, imagine being cuddled by a skeleton. right?
Right.
It wouldn't be very comfortable at all. But
No.
imagine the skeletons trying their best. How would you feel about that?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I did have a complaint with it somewhere about that. Oh yeah, it's like
blood?
no, not about blood. Blood's fine. He's cool.
Blood's great. Yeah.
It's the kid, like William.
Will. Uh-huh.
Yeah, he's like, my life is a blurry mess of nothingness, and then every time if he needs a piece of useful information from his previous life, he has it. Like he can remember that. Like it comes up a lot where he's just like, I'm smart enough as a child to have cognitive awareness of what's going on around that I can learn language just by people listening, right? Like he has the sensory recognition of an adult.
He does.
Uh-huh.
And the cognition in general.
Mhm.
Yeah. He's
Yeah.
like, this is weird. I am a baby,
Mhm.
but this is weird.
Yeah.
Babies don't think that. Babies don't know anything.
Which isn't terrible, but there's a lot of stuff where it comes to like, yes, when I was in my previous life, I ate like crap, I slept whenever I wanted to, and, I just was on the computer. I did not live a good life. It's like, I thought your entire life was a memory. How do you know that this life is particularly too much different? Like, how do you know that? He just kind of
remembers his previous life?
right, but the opening chapter is him being like, "Ma, my old life was a blurry mess."
Yes.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
So you're just saying you
It's-
think that means he shouldn't remember what it was like because
Not-
it was too blurry.
No, but not that he shouldn't remember anything, but I feel like they really sell us on the fact that he's not going to remember a whole lot, and then every time something comes up, something new that someone's doing, he's comparing it to how it was in his old life. Like, Gus is teaching me arithmetic. I already knew math because I did it before.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Okay, that's fair. I get what you're saying.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. I don't know. I thought it was a good world build.
Hmm.
I thought it was, interesting magic system.
Hmm.
I liked the part where it's like these words have power.
Mm-hmm.
If you write them,
They
magic
manifest.
happens,
Yeah. They can.
right?
Yeah.
But if you just screw it up a little bit, or it's not perfect anymore, but it's still recognizable, it doesn't count. It won't start things on fire, right?
Well, or it'll only catch things on fire a little bit instead of a
Yeah.
lot.
It reduces, right. It's less dangerous. It
Uh-huh.
only counts if you do it perfectly. I thought
Yeah.
that was interesting.
No, that's good. I like
kinda
that.
fun.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, learning magic from a ghost and learning fighting from some kind of barbarian
Skeleton.
skeleton.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I'm very confused as to how Blood drank alcohol, and how that affected him. Very
Totally.
confused.
Well, yeah, they're not. So they didn't get their states naturally, right?
No.
The Demon King, whatever, turned them into these things.
Yeah, stagnate.
So they're not. I mean, I don't. I just got the feeling he's not an actual skeleton. He's some kind of a manifestation of a skeleton. In most ways, but yeah, there's different ways that it's more like a human body than a skeleton would be.
Right. I mean, we've shown that well, we're not shown. We're told his jaw can come off when he's shocked.
Mhm.
Right. He can catch blades with his ribs. Right.
Yep.
Like
In a
his
special move.
yeah. Special move.
It was a special move.
I like that.
Stabbed intentionally.
Yeah, I like that Mary scolds him for wanting to use the move while he was alive.
Yeah. It's pretty stupid, honestly. It's like you get in close and you let them stab you right in the torso, and then you chop their head off. You're like, but what if they get you first? Like that's the whole plan. Is you get hit in a very vital location. It's fine, whatever. Barbarian, they do what they do.
Yeah, he's fine. Barely an inconvenience.
Barely an inconvenience.
Yeah.
So, anyway, that was good. I liked the story of Mary Gus. Gus?
Yeah, Gus.
No.
Well, yeah,
It
it's
is
Gus.
Gus.
It is Gus.
Just felt wrong for a second.
It's
Gus and,
Augustus, technically.
yeah, Augustus.
Grandpa Gus. Yeah.
Their whole endeavor to take down the Demon King, I thought that was pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Good world building. Gods are real. Swear different oaths to them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, kind of pretty. very Stormlight Archives in that way. Obviously, none of this is new ideas, but
Right.
this
Nothing
concept's
new,
existed
but
for a
good
long
execution.
time. But
Yeah.
it's good execution,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. I enjoy it.
I thought the final battle with
the Echo.
Yeah, the Echo, but what's his name?
Stagnate.
Stagnant. Yeah.
Yeah.
With Stagnant was interesting and good.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I thought overall it was pretty well done.
Yeah. Yeah.
The development of a paladin.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And you gonna read the next book?
I don't know. You kind of put me off on it. We talked about this, and you were like, "Yeah, it's fine."
Right. I also said it's fine about the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing: you're a goody two shoes when you roleplay a paladin. All right, you'll probably love this guy. Right?
Probably.
So I don't know. Pick
Probably.
it up. It's probably only like $10.
$10. The first one was cheaper than that.
Was it? I might have bought the next 2 books for $10 then. I don't know, something like that. Yeah, there was a deal.
Handle.
Books
in
on
the
Kindle.
series. Oh, look, it has a little buy now button. What is it? Kindle Store.
Tell us.
Faraway Paladin, Volume 2. Oh, yes.
Mm-hmm.
$7. Hooray.
Look at that. Maybe it was $10 for me.
Due to its large file size, this book may take longer to download. It's because it's images instead of text, probably.
No, it's text.
Oh, okay. No, it is. You're right, because I changed the text size once I got out of the intro.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Let's say it's not that. Whatever, it's fine. That's weird. It says it's that big. Is it much longer than the other one?
243 pages.
So,
No.
sort of, not really.
No.
Whatevs.
It's weird.
Yeah. So the story is putting forth the idea that this dude lived a normal life in modern day Japan.
Mm-hmm.
Died.
Mm-hmm.
And then was resurrected in a fantasy world.
Yes.
As a baby, set to be sacrificed to the demon god, and then got rescued.
Typical isekai nonsense. Yes.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Is reincarnation like a Japanese thing?
Yeah. A lot of Japanese, I believe, Buddhists.
Okay. Yeah, Buddhism's all about reincarnation.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fair enough. Yeah, I don't know. I found myself wondering if there were certain cultural ideas I wasn't really grasping because a Japanese person wrote it, but...
Oh, yeah, I mean, probably. Yeah.
Probably. Ooh. I wanted to talk to you about this. When he called blood rock and roll, he said, "You're rock and roll." I was like, okay, what's funny about this is that's an English word that's in Japanese language, right?
Yeah.
Like, I've seen anime where they say rock and roll.
Yeah.
Like the character says it.
Yeah.
So it's become its own thing though. Like in America, if you called somebody rock and roll, they'd be like, "What are you talking about?"
You're
Not
really
to that level. They know what rock and roll is, but to describe somebody as rock and roll is not an American thing.
I feel
don't
like
think it ever has been.
I mean, I feel like you could use that here without issue. People would understand the general. Like, it wouldn't be common, but you could do it.
You think so? Like,
Yeah.
you want to work the next day and you're like, "Hey, man, you're rock and roll." They'd be like, "Yeah."
Well, no.
Sure.
I mean, I wouldn't describe anyone who worked as rock and roll. But, you know.
So it'd have to be somebody who fits the rock and roll lifestyle.
Yeah.
So like a biker or something.
Yeah. They might say, I think I've been described as rock and roll.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
It does sound kind of out of touch, right? Because rock was like it was a bigger music.
It was in the 60s, 50s.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. It's basically dead now, is the weird thing.
Yeah.
At least in America. I don't know.
Kind of.
I don't know. I just felt that was more of a Japanese phrase. And the translator's like, okay, like I get what the author's trying to do here. I can't really translate it because it's already in English. So, what do I do? I'll just roll with rock and roll, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it works. I feel like you didn't.
Yeah.
Like you pictured a rock and roll star, surely. Like.
I did, but I don't think that's Blood. I don't think he's a performer.
No, not Blood. Gus. Gus gets.
Gus?
Gus.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the training.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. I don't know. I don't see Gus as that either. Whatever. I'm nitpicking.
Oh,
It's fine.
no, don't get me wrong. I'm not arguing that the usage of the term was correct. Right. Just that I understand its usage.
Right. No, me
Or
too.
that I
I
don't
wasn't
find-
like, what are you trying to say, you weird kid?
Right,
No.
but that I mean that's kind of the point though. It couldn't be translated into English, but it also doesn't make a whole lot of sense into English.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I can imagine the translator being like, what do I do with this? We're going to keep it. It's fine. It's a little awkward, but we'll roll with it. It also helps that Gus is like, I've never heard this before, right?
right, yeah.
It wasn't like Gus immediately accepted this was true because he knew exactly what Will meant.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
He's constantly saying things that they don't understand.
right. Because he's from a different world. He's some kind of genius, apparently. Because, isekai. You got to be good at what you do.
Oh
Don't be
yeah.
bad.
Obviously. Yeah.
Right. It's not fun. Nobody wants to read about someone who's bad at stuff. Apparently.
So it still wasn't explained why he was reincarnated here.
Right. Not
So-
at all.
No.
He doesn't know. I thought there'd be a big backstory. I thought it'd be like, and the gods, something, something. But it's just like, nope.
Yeah.
You're just a baby that the bad guys had, and they were going to sacrifice you to bring back their demon god. That's it.
Yep. Nope.
I don't know. Maybe there's something in future books. Apparently not book 2, though.
Well, hold on. I'm not very far into book 2.
Oh, okay.
How far into it am I?
So maybe
Yeah.
there is an answer to that in book
I'm
2.
just under halfway. So maybe.
Okay.
At the moment, it's a
Be an
lot.
end of-
It's a lot about buying tools at the moment,
Oh,
and
that's not very
livestock.
fun.
No.
No, I'm out. I'm out on buying tools in a book. Anywho,
Akudama.
Akudama, yeah.
So
So 2 episodes.
2
We
episodes.
talked about it last week.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So one, holy crap, they're going to the moon, and then holy crap, they didn't go to the moon.
That was instantaneously ended.
Yeah, that
Like,
was.
they introduced the concept of we're going to the moon in the episode, and then they get in the spaceship and they fly up towards the moon, which has been shattered. And then the next episode, instantly they're like, "Just kidding, no. You thought this was going to work? What an idiot!"
I like that in the previous episode, the ship took like 3 minutes to do its pre-flight checks. Apparently, in its pre-flight checks, did not include did it have enough fuel. Like, I feel like having enough fuel should be included in the pre-flight checks.
Yeah, no, you'd think so. But at the same time, it's a rocket in the middle of an arcade expo. What the crap? Why does this thing go at all?
That's a good point.
What is this?
Because Japan.
Because Japan. They're like, you know what this arcade expo really needs is a semi-functional rocket.
Yeah, it does.
It makes of a show that has some things that don't make sense. This really doesn't make any sense. Anyway, so the rocket's gone. It was an escape vehicle. The end.
Basically, even though most of the other characters that the show focused on did not need this at all, right? They got out just fine.
Right.
Right.
Sort of.
More or less.
Yeah. No, I'm surprisingly fine. It's a good point.
Yeah.
I was like, so we just run into everybody else and they're fine? What?
Like Courier, I get. Like he's got to be good at getting away.
Sure. That Hoodlum
Hoodlum.
escapes?
Yeah.
How? I need a how for him.
No clue.
None. And obviously Doctor's working with the bad guys. Kind of. Just like wantonly killing them. He's the best.
I love her line about like, oh yes, there's always one person who takes these extra long coffee breaks.
Right.
And that's why I didn't get slaughtered immediately. She's throwing scalpels around.
She's like, in the many offices where I've murdered everyone, there's always the one dude who comes back late from break. That's a good point. Very casual about it. Yeah, she's fascinatingly hilarious psychopath.
Yeah. Okay, so what do you think about Swindler's new haircut?
I don't know. It's pretty typical. We're trying to avoid detection hair, right?
Right. It
Always
is.
happens in the movies. Women with long hair, when they're on the run from something, they cut it like that.
Uh-huh. Yeah. The problem is, I'm looking at her and I'm like, you don't look like the same person now, right? Like, which is
What
the
massive haircuts do.
no,
That's the point.
I get that that's the point, but it looks like it changed her face. Like her face does not
Oh.
look like, oh, let's just copy pasta longer hair onto that, and it's the same person.
You think
So-
they're cheating? They're like, look how drastically different she looks. We're going to change her face and not tell you.
I would imagine so. Yeah.
Interesting.
Like,
I obviously
it's
felt
not-
the same way, but I was like, I don't know. Her hair's kind of obscuring some of her face, and now that's visible, and that can change the whole everything that's going on.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, obviously at this point we need to screen cap and compare. Because, like, yeah, if they made the nose thinner or something, then it's like, you cheaters. That's not what it's worth.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
It's possible, and Hacker still hasn't shown up yet. All right.
Yeah.
He's been going for like
He-
5 episodes now.
Yeah. What did he do? He just left the train.
Yeah, he was just on the train. He's like, no, this is going to Kensei or
Kanto.
Kanto.
He wanted to go to Kanto.
He did, but whether or not he got the train moving or what happened, like that could not have been him. Like, all right, I'm done with the show. Peace out, yo. Right? Like,
He's
surely,
established as a main character.
yeah, he's on the poster.
Right.
That said,
It
Brawler
would-
dies like 2 episodes later,
That's true. Brawler's dead.
as far as we know.
I mean, he's dead enough that Hoodlum was convinced he's dead.
Right.
And Hoodlum has seen Brawler survive some crazy stuff.
It's true.
So I get the feeling Hoodlum would have stuck around long enough, right?
Mm-hmm.
But maybe Brawler has some deep internal healing stuff going on, and it takes him like 2 days to come back from whatever happened to him.
Maybe.
And Hoodlum just didn't wait long enough.
He just needs a nap and then he'll be fine.
I don't know, man. Like, Brawler's been stabbed clear through. I'm just saying.
Right.
And he was pretty okay after that.
Yeah, I mean, Cutthroat
come
had
back
his
is all
legs
the same.
cut off.
Yeah.
And he's
but
fine.
then he got doctor intervention, though.
It's true, but then he got shot in the leg.
Yes. And he's still gimping around. And
Yeah,
Seems
like-
okay.
I mean, he's looking for his angel.
Sure. He's motivated.
I love
Yeah.
that they've gone like 8 episodes being like, here are these bad people, but they're actually, they're kind of good. They're kind of quirky and fun. And then episode 8 has just been Swindler realizing that, or at least it's setting up to be like, oh yeah, remember, these people are bad, right? These people, like Cutthroat's actually going to be like a psychopath stalker that she can't get rid of, right? Doctor's turning on her. Hoodlum's probably going
Yeah.
to sell her out because of,
Doctor.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's just an interesting twist.
But then it's like, but then Courier's going to help him out of the goodness of his heart.
Nah,
that's
she'll pay him.
interesting.
She'll pay him.
Yeah,
Like-
but he offered to pay him. He was like, eh. And it wasn't until she had her little impassioned speech that he was like, fine.
Maybe. Maybe he's gonna betray her later.
Man, that'd be incredible. It's like, you're annoying. I'm going to turn you in.
Maybe there's a reward, which there probably is.
Yeah, but I mean, he already has more money than he would ever earn in his entire life, right?
It's true. Oh, he does say that when she offers to pay, and he's just like, nah, that's chump change now. The only reason he
But, like-
doesn't want payment is because more money, he just wouldn't be able to spend it.
Yeah. Like, it's basically infinite money, I think.
Yeah.
Because she offers to double it, right? They each got $1 billion, whatever. So if she gives him hers, then that's times 2. And the only reason that doesn't matter is if times 1 is more than he could ever spend, right?
Right.
Times 2 of infinite is
Infinite.
meaningless.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's what he was talking about. Plus, I don't know. It seems like he lives on his bike. What expenses does this man have? Probably has to pay for upkeep and fuel or whatever the bike runs on, and that's pretty much it. Maybe clothes and food.
Yeah. Takoyaki. Yeah.
Yeah, so like $1 billion or $1 billion yen, whatever he's got, will keep him for a very, very long time.
Am I the only one who's interested in what the rest of the world looks like at the moment? Right? Like, if this is Japan, what does the rest of the world look like?
Oh,
Because Japan's got a giant hole in the middle of it. The moon has been blown up, right?
Right.
That's gonna do
Big
some
deal.
stuff to to tides.
Yeah. That's a good. What? Ooh, I need a. I bet there's a video out there. What if the moon exploded? What would that do to Earth?
Oh yeah, that video's got to exist somewhere.
Yeah.
I would be
Some research.
surprised if Kurtz Kazat hadn't done it already.
Yeah, totally. That's actually exactly who I thought about, because their video today was like, whoa. They're like, so the chances aren't very good, but there's these rogue planets stars flying around, not tethered to anything.
Mm-hmm.
And if they pass close enough to Earth, it will drag it away from the solar system and we'll all die. Like, what? I had never had this thought before. Wow, that's dark stuff. Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming around with that bit of information I'll never be able to forget.
Yeah, sleep well at night, knowing that that could happen.
Did you watch it?
No, not yet.
So it does this incredible job of being like, from our perspective, a star will appear in the sky and get brighter and brighter over months and months. Then it will be basically visible all the time and all night. And then it will start going away, but also the sun will start going away. It's like, that's terrifying.
Yeah.
The sun will get smaller and smaller until we can barely see it anymore, and we'll freeze to death. The end.
Incredible.
Yeah, good stuff.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, what does the rest of the world look like if they've got the available technology? They have lightsabers, like the Japanese seem to.
Mm-hmm.
Anywho, I don't know, like when they were in the two things. So they end up crash landing in this contaminated zone, right?
Mm-hmm.
Apparently in the spot where like industrial waste pipes run and they all dump in this one location.
Uh-huh.
I was like, bad luck there.
I mean, it probably
This one
softened
spot,
the landing.
all these pipes are coming in from all different directions and just dumping in this one spot.
Probably saved their life, so probably good luck.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Instead of hitting rocks, it was goop.
Yep. Second.
Yeah, and then just the bad guys that they run into. I don't know. It's just there's a TV tropes page. All bad guys are rapists. Like, it's the easiest way to establish a character as bad as like child sex traffickers.
Right.
Like, they couldn't just be normal bad guys. They had to be sex traffickers of children. Like, why?
We needed you to not feel bad when good person does bad thing because it's an even badder person.
Accurate. We need you to feel okay about our heroine murdering 3 people.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to make them the worst type of person you can ever possibly think of.
Mm-hmm.
Enjoy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's fair. I guess that's why they did it, but it's just, I don't know. It could be a little more morally gray than that, people. I think we can. We can get away with it.
I think we can. I was really surprised that as they kept dying, the other 2 were just like, how are you going to pay us back for this? And the second guy dies, and the last guy's like, look, you really owe me a lot of money now.
That was pretty good. Like, I don't know. I guess on some level, you refuse to believe that this random woman
is going to kill you
is
all.
capable enough to kill you. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, subconsciously, you just don't take it seriously, even to the end.
Yeah.
Dark stuff. Oh, and then one little sister got crushed by that girder.
Oh,
It was like literally flat and solid on the lower half of her body.
And she's like, daijoubu.
It's like, I'm fine. And that's what I was saying. I was like, look, you've seen these children experience extreme trauma and be fine.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I understand that this is not natural and you're used to freaking out when children are hurt. But come on, pull yourself together a little bit. Obviously, little sister is doing just great.
Yeah.
I think the blood's the problem. If they didn't bleed, it'd be less of a concern.
Yeah. I think she'd be able to handle it a lot better if she didn't bleed.
Yeah.
Either of them. Because that's the interesting thing. It's like, okay, you can heal really fast, I guess. But producing that much blood?
That's what I was just going to say. Losing blood is a problem.
Mm-hmm. There's another... it's actually a really good isekai anime. Where it's basically like a group of people get abducted. They have but they actually have no memories of their former lives. They're not children being sacrificed, so it's a bit different. But the healer of the group is like, look, I can heal your wounds, but I can't replace your blood. You need to take it easy. Like, it's an actual issue that gets raised.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fair.
Yeah.
Although, on the hierarchy of problems that your body might have, I believe getting your lower half squished by metal is worse than losing some blood.
Right. But,
So, if you can heal from the first thing, the second thing should not be a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess that's the difference between self-healing and having someone else heal you, right?
Yes. Self-healing, it's not marketed as self-healing. It's marketed as immortality, isn't
Right.
it?
Well, potato, right?
Yeah, right. If your self-healing is good enough, you're immortal.
Imagine if she was immortal, but she couldn't heal, right?
Yeah.
Like, she gets crushed. She's like, well, this is my life now. I have no legs ever.
I think there have been some stories about that, actually. You're right. That'd be horrendous. Yeah. And I did like they kind of try to give a nod to some science. They had Dr. Lady, like, studying the blood.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, yes, stem cells. That's what it is the whole time. It's like, thank you for trying, writers, I guess. It doesn't really matter. They're magic kids.
Right.
We don't need to ground science in any way, we promise.
I mean, that's a really thing I don't get when people are like, they didn't even try to ground it, or they did try to ground it, but because it's science fiction, it can't be properly grounded anyway, so it's all meaningless to try.
But you can ground some things.
You can. I'm talking about immortality. Right?
Fair. Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah. I think it's just reflex. I think they're like, in some science fiction, you can ground it
Mm-hmm.
in something that makes sense to current understanding of the laws of physics.
Mm-hmm.
And they just try to apply it to everything, even when, no, these are magic children. It's magic. There's nothing scientific about this at all.
Right. Dr. Lady, you're clearly magic, right?
Yes. Oh, gosh. Yes. Obviously. She's a wizard.
Mm-hmm.
Without question.
Yeah.
Anyway. Good stuff. Akudama Drive.
It's good.
Yeah, it's good.
I approve. Still.
Me too. All right. We need to wrap up with some StarCraft real quick.
Oh, did something happen in StarCraft? I don't know.
Yes, something did. So before you get to do your thing, I just would like to say this is yet another premier tournament from the year 2020, where the final is a Terran finals.
That makes what, like 2?
Yeah, 2. And then the number of Terran wins is up there as well. So I'm just saying, any Terran out there who wants to complain about balance, you just suck. It's not balance related. Just play like Beyond.
Just play like Beyond.
Play like Beyond. Yeah. So your guy, your boy,
My
he did a
guy.
thing.
He did. Yeah.
We were worried about him.
We were. You made me doubt him. I hate you.
I'm sorry. He wasn't looking good. He came back from military and was like,
He's the first person to come back from military and win a major tournament.
yeah. Because if Don Ragu was the first guy to come back and make it to a semifinal, then obviously Beyond doing this is the first time ever for that too.
Mm-hmm.
Incredible. Let's see. I want to see who he beat. Let's track his path.
He had a fantastic path, is what he had.
He 3-2'd Raynor in the group stage. Then he 3-1 stats in the group stage. Nice. Then he 3-2'd Serral, which is impressive.
I've heard one of those games being described as the best game of 2020.
Yeah, I need to cast that whole series, actually. That'll be, I think, my Sunday cast.
Please do.
And then 3-0'd Solar, which if you can beat Serral, you're going to crush Solar, I think is how that works.
It's true.
Yeah, and then 4-2 over Maru in the final. Maru's had a great year. This isn't like... And Maru made it to the final, so obviously, I mean, he beat Raynor to get there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we do have to mention that Showtime beat Serral for the first time since 2017.
Oh, yeah.
I can't, like, that hurts. I can't imagine being a professional, like, elite level StarCraft player and having never beat another fellow StarCraft player in 3 years, once in a series, on anything. That's brutal.
Yeah. Did they talk at all mention about how many times they've met, though? Because
in 3 years, they're both in the European region. It's got to be a bunch of times each year.
right. It's going to be a bunch of times, but it could also still only be like 6 times a year, which is a lot.
That's
but
a lot.
compare that to like how many times has Cyril beaten Armani? It's probably like 3 times in 3 years.
Yeah.
Right.
If he was a Korean, it'd be like, whatever, fine.
Right.
But the fact that it's a fellow European, for sure.
Actually, I bet a Ligalak could tell us this.
I'm actually looking it up right now.
Oh, I bet you are.
He's played Showtime 34 times.
In 3 years.
Well, I think this might be all time. I'm
Okay.
trying to find their direct, because it has a list for Cyril's rivals and people
Okay.
who's played the most. It's Showtime 34 times.
Holy
Rainer
crap.
27 times.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I forget how to do this.
I would like to inform everyone that Terrans currently hold 5 of the top 10 spots.
This is what I'm saying. Terrans are doing fine. No Terran balance whining ever again. Well, for a while.
For like a hot minute.
Yep. I forget how to compare. Where is this dumb thing?
Compare, it's under MISC.
Misk.
Yeah.
Honestly. Alright, so we go Cyril.
And Showtime.
Showtime, we compare. Look, you lack great place. Alright. So it doesn't have a way to be like in the last 3 years, but so it's 20 to 13. No, in lifetime. Oh my gosh.
It's 12 to 17 and Legacy of the Void.
Okay.
I believe that's what the meta category at the very bottom is. That currently it's 12 to 17. Cyril's favor.
You think that means expansion? You don't think that means?
I mean, it could be, but how do you like? I feel like tracking.
Meta.
Yeah, I feel like that's sticky. So I assume it's expansion.
So okay, so it's 20 to 13 ever.
12 to 5 currently.
I don't know. It's a bunch. It's just a long time for that to weigh on you. I feel like I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
all. And then Cyril hasn't lost to a Protoss in a premier tournament since
ever. Yeah.
Spring. Well, this year since Katowice, I think somebody beat him. But
here's the thing: Showtime's experience is not unique. Right. Cyril beat everyone for like 3 years. There are lots of people who have not beaten Cyril in 3 years.
Yes, that's very true.
Right.
There are a bunch of people who haven't done it.
Like there will be more people who won't beat Cyril for 4 years. Right? They will just continue to sit middle of the pack and not. I mean, I hope they don't give up. I want them to try, but doesn't mean they will.
Right. Fair enough. So anyway, back to Bjorn. Bjorn did great things. His face cam during these things is just like an unblinking staring. I don't think he's breathing face cam.
I think it was a still. Sure. Was it moving? Because I heard someone describe it as a still, right? Like they just put up an image.
A robot.
Just an image.
No, it's a camera. They wouldn't let him get away with just a picture if everyone else has to be on camera, right? Come on.
I mean, maybe. I did see people describing him, like giving him a new nickname of Micro Jackson.
That's pretty good. He does. So, he's looking, I don't know, looking interesting. Good stuff. All right. So when's the super tournament? Soon?
Tonight. Yeah. It's in like
a
couple hours. Yeah.
Do I want to stay up? I do not. I'll watch the VODs tomorrow.
5 hours from now. Yeah. No, not staying up. Got work in the morning.
Okay. So what do we got here? Is this entire thing going to be December 2nd? It seems like a lot of StarCraft for one. Oh, yeah. So half of it is today, and the next half of it's on the 5th or the 6th.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
TY Hurricane, Dark Beyond, Zest.
That's right. We're both on the bottom half, so we won't see our guys play until the 5th.
Nah, I'm switching to Beyond.
You can't. It's too late.
I absolutely can. It's not too late. The game hasn't started yet.
We agreed.
And now I'm changing the agreement. Pray I don't alter them further.
Orlando. What are you going to say about Darth Vader, honestly? You know what that guy can do.
Mm-hmm.
All right, fine.
Yeah. Back to my boy Beyond. All right. So we look forward to that.
Yes, for sure. It's going to be good.
Yep.
And I think that's it.
I
We're
think
good to
that's
go.
it. Yeah.
All right. Good stuff. Thanks for joining us for another edition of the Falcon Paladin Hour with Somicron. Go ahead and you can watch us live, by the way. We record these at 9 p.m. Eastern on twitch.tv/Somicron. Come join us. And yeah, check out the merch, falconpaladin.store, and the Patreon page. Links in the show notes. And until next time, as always, thanks for hanging out with us. Stay safe, stay healthy, and above all, take care of yourselves. Goodbye.
Bye.